Something that jumped out at me was purpose, because you mentioned that after your undergraduate, you actually had opened a business. You for some time, and then you felt this is not quite it. I'm not quite fulfilling my purpose. And that's why you went back to do your MBA and ultimately ended up at GE for 10 G, right?
J&J, J&J.
J&J for 10 years. So that purpose comes with a lot of responsibility and a lot of emotions. And, especially when it comes to leadership. And when we talked some time ago, you talked about emotional capacity
Mm-hmm.
and how that is helpful for enabling leaders to stay at the top.
That's right.
Can you elaborate on that? Because especially as I know you've had experience with startups and leadership, well, they go hand in hand, but you really need to have that leadership anchored. So can you talk
That's
a
right.
bit about that?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, emotional capacity I found has become one of my favorite topics because I encounter it on a daily basis where it exists, where it does not exist. And, maybe I should define it for you. It's really the ability to stay grounded and clear and effective under pressure. It's that
Mhm.
internal strength that really guides your judgment, but it's also that internal strength that enables you to show up present and calm in your presence. And it's really what enables a leader to be relentless in the face of intensity when the stakes are high. I find that emotional capacity is what makes a huge difference between leaders that can mobilize teams and organizations behind them after a specific direction or course because of the presence that they carry themselves. And so that, it's a long definition, but I think you get the essence of it. I talk about it a lot because I've come to discover that organizations, again, go through lots of turbulent seasons. An example that I love to give that most individuals that have worked in the corporate environment have faced before is that of reorganizations. A lot of organizations go through reorgs, restructures, transformations, what have you. And in those moments, there's usually quite a bit of anxiety all around. Employees, excuse me, may face anxiety around, will I have a job? Do I have a future with this organization? Leaders are concerned about morale. They're concerned about productivity. Even high performing employees are concerned around whether they've got a future with the organization or not. And so, all around, there tends to be high intensity. But in my years of experience, what I've come to realize is that as a leader, my emotional stability is what the organization is, what my team feeds off of. And the clarity of mind and presence I have is just as important as the decisions I make in those moments. Because leaders set the emotional temperature of an organization. And those that have built the muscle of exercising and demonstrating strong emotional capacity, again, are able to stabilize organizations in chaotic seasons and are able to move them towards fulfilling a specific direction. And so I think it's one of those that no matter which part of the organization you look in terms of leadership levels, you tend to see gaps, even very senior leaders that are, so to speak, at the top of their game, you oftentimes see gaps. And the ability to close that gap really determines how effective a leader can be.
If you just enjoyed that video, check out the longer version right here.